What if the story you thought you knew about Fast and Loud was just the surface? Aaron Kaufman, the quiet genius behind the iconic car builds, shocked the world when he walked away from the show at the peak of its success. Was it just another reality TV drama, or was there something deeper at play? The truth behind Kaufman's exit reveals a world of tension, creative clashes, and personal battles that the cameras never captured. Behind the scenes, Kaufman fought a battle between his passion for craftsmanship and the demands of a fast-paced show. His decision to leave wasn't impulsive. It was the result of years of frustration, and it changed everything. Stay tuned as we dive into the untold story behind Kaufman's departure and the impact it had on Fast and Loud. A story of integrity, artistry, and the price of staying true to yourself. The crash. Aaron Kaufman's life took a dramatic turn when a car crash changed everything. It wasn't just any accident. It was a near-fatal moment that would ultimately alter his career path and impact his relationship with the show, Fast and Loud. One evening, after a long day of filming and car builds at Gas Monkey Garage, Kaufman, who had been pushing himself hard both on and off the camera, was involved in a serious car crash while driving back home. The crash itself was a blur for Kaufman. He remembers the moment the car spun out of control, the sudden, violent jolt, and then the surreal stillness that followed. He was lucky to survive, but the incident left him with injuries that would take time to heal. For the first time, Kaufman was forced to pause and reflect on his life, his career, the relentless schedule of Fast and Loud, and the toll it was taking on him both physically and mentally. During his recovery, Aaron began questioning the direction his life was taking. The crash, though traumatic, became a turning point that forced him to reassess his priorities. The high-energy, fast-paced world of reality TV was no longer something he could blindly continue, and the seeds of his eventual departure from the show were planted during this period of recovery. Silent recovery. After the crash, Aaron Kaufman's life slowed down, offering him the time he never had before. For months, he focused on his recovery, both physical and emotional. The intense pain from his injuries reminded him that his body had limits, and the realization hit harder than he expected. The fast-paced, high-pressure environment of Gas Monkey Garage, with its constant rush to meet deadlines and keep up with the demands of the show, now felt like a burden. During this time of quiet reflection, Kaufman started to reevaluate his choices. The very show that had brought him fame and success had also contributed to his exhaustion. While recovering, he distanced himself from the limelight, spending time away from the cameras, focusing on the simple joys of working with cars without the pressure of meeting the next filming schedule. For the first time, Kaufman began to think about what he truly wanted from his career. He no longer wanted to be caught in a cycle of endless projects designed for television ratings. This silence gave him clarity. Kaufman knew he couldn't keep sacrificing his love for genuine craftsmanship just to fulfill the demands of the entertainment industry. His recovery became the beginning of his realization that he needed a change, both in his professional and personal life. Betrayal and lawsuit. As Aaron Kaufman navigated through his recovery, an unexpected storm was brewing behind the scenes at Gas Monkey Garage. Tensions began to rise between Kaufman and Richard Rawlings, with creative differences and growing personal frustrations slowly seeping into their professional relationship. Kaufman had always valued authenticity and craftsmanship over the flashy, entertainment-driven aspects of the show. However, Rawlings, focused on the business and the show's demands, pushed for more sensationalized builds that sacrificed the quality Kaufman held dear. The situation reached a boiling point when Kaufman realized he was being increasingly sidelined. The show's direction was no longer in line with his vision, and he felt as if his contributions were being overlooked for the sake of higher ratings and quicker projects. The tension between them escalated, and it became clear that Kaufman's passion for creating meaningful builds was no longer welcomed in the environment he had helped build. Feeling betrayed by the very team he had dedicated himself to, Kaufman eventually filed a lawsuit against the network, claiming that his intellectual property and creative contributions had been taken without proper acknowledgement. The lawsuit wasn't just about the money. It was about protecting his legacy and ensuring that his work as a mechanic and builder would not be reduced to mere TV drama. His departure from the show, while painful, marked a new chapter for Kaufman, one where he could reclaim his passion for real craftsmanship away from the spotlight. Erasure from TV. Aaron Kaufman's departure from Fast and Loud wasn't just a career shift. It marked an almost complete erasure from the public eye. After years of building his reputation on the show, fans were left confused and disappointed. Kaufman, the quiet genius behind some of the most impressive car builds on Fast and Loud, was suddenly gone, and the show continued without him. Despite his integral role in the success of the show, it felt as though his contributions were swept under the rug. In an industry driven by fame, Kaufman's absence left a noticeable void. His calm, intense demeanor and unmatched mechanical skills had been a defining part of Fast and Loud's charm. Yet, the show continued without acknowledging just how much Kaufman had brought to the table. His name faded from the show's storyline, and fans were left with the sense that the very heart of Gaz Monkey Garage had been removed. Behind the scenes, Kaufman struggled to adjust to this new reality. While he had made the decision to walk away from the show, it was clear that his departure came with sacrifices. His face no longer graced the screen, and his hard-earned legacy was being replaced with the fast-paced drama the show had come to rely on. For Kaufman, it was more than just stepping away from the cameras. It was a matter of regaining control over his career and, more importantly, his identity as a true craftsman. Behind the scenes, while Aaron Kaufman's exit from Fast and Loud seemed sudden to fans, the tensions that led to his departure had been building for some time. Behind the scenes, Kaufman had been growing increasingly frustrated with the direction the show was taking. The focus on quick builds, flashy projects, and constant drama was at odds with Kaufman's passion for authentic, detailed craftsmanship. His frustration intensified as he found himself caught in a cycle of quick turnarounds for television ratings, leaving little room for the kind of intricate work he was known for. What fans didn't see was the growing disconnect between Kaufman and Richard Rawlings. Once close business partners, the two had different visions for the future of Gaz Monkey Garage. Rawlings, with his charismatic and business-driven approach, wanted to keep pushing the show's brand for maximum entertainment value. Kaufman, on the other hand, was driven by a desire to create meaningful, high-quality builds that reflected his true passion for the craft. As tensions rose, Kaufman found himself at a crossroads. While Rawlings was pushing for faster, more dramatic builds to boost ratings, Kaufman's heart was in the art of car restoration and design. Behind the cameras, it became clear that the creative differences were too vast to ignore. Kaufman began to feel like he was compromising his values just to keep up with the show's pace. Eventually, he realized that in order to stay true to himself, he would have to leave the very world he had helped create. The fall. Aaron Kaufman's decision to leave Fast and Loud wasn't just a personal choice. It marked the beginning of a significant fall in his public life. Once celebrated as the quiet genius behind the scenes of Gaz Monkey Garage, Kaufman's exit left a gap that fans struggled to fill. His departure coincided with the show's increasing reliance on high-energy drama and quick, sensational builds, creating a sharp contrast between his craftsmanship and the direction the show was heading. The fall wasn't just in terms of his career, it was also a shift in his public image. Kaufman had become synonymous with authenticity and precision, but without his steady presence, the show's dynamics shifted. Fans who had admired his mechanical genius and down-to-earth nature were left feeling betrayed, as they couldn't understand why someone so integral to the show's success would just walk away. Kaufman's decision to leave, though justified by his personal values, led to a period of uncertainty. His absence from the show was felt not only in the automotive community, but also in the broader realm of reality TV. Without his steady hand guiding the builds, Gas Monkey Garage became just another reality show in a sea of quick fixes and drama, losing much of its original soul. The fall was a hard pill to swallow for Kaufman too. As the man behind the successful brand, stepping away wasn't easy. Yet, his departure served as a reminder that sometimes, preserving one's integrity and passion meant stepping away from fame and success, no matter how steep the cost. The real story. As time passed after his departure, Aaron Kaufman began to reveal the real story behind his decision to leave Fast and Loud. In interviews and public statements, he shared his frustrations with the show's focus on entertainment over craftsmanship, something that had weighed heavily on him for years. Kaufman was never one to seek drama or unnecessary attention, but his decision to speak out shed light on the personal and professional struggles he had faced while working on the show. He opened up about the disconnect he felt with the show's format, where speed and sensationalism often took precedence over true mechanical artistry. Kaufman's true passion was always in the details, the fine-tuning, the intricate work that transformed a car into a masterpiece. But the demands of Fast and Loud didn't allow for that level of artistry. As the show continued to evolve, it became clear that Kaufman's vision and the show's vision were no longer in alignment. He also shared that the growing tension with Richard Rawlings wasn't just about creative differences, it had become a matter of personal values. Kaufman realized that staying in an environment that no longer reflected his principles would be detrimental to his own growth. The real story behind Kaufman's exit wasn't about a simple disagreement. It was about reclaiming his integrity and his passion for the craft that had always been his driving force. The truth was that Kaufman had to step away not just for his career, but for his own sense of self. Legacy of the polar bear. Aaron Kaufman's legacy goes far beyond his time on Fast and Loud. After stepping away from the limelight, he built a reputation not based on drama, but on quality craftsmanship and passion for the art of custom car building. His departure from the show marked the end of one chapter, but the beginning of another, one that would solidify Kaufman's place as a respected figure in the automotive world. Kaufman's time on Fast and Loud had introduced viewers to the world of custom cars, and his technical expertise had left an indelible mark on the automotive industry. But what truly set him apart was his commitment to authenticity. Kaufman didn't just build cars for TV, he built them because he loved the craft. This passion led to the creation of Arclight Fabrication, his post-TV venture where he could focus on restoring and modifying vintage Ford trucks with the same attention to detail and precision that had defined his earlier work. Though many fans were saddened by his departure, Kaufman's decision to walk away from fame proved to be a powerful statement about integrity and passion. He had always been more than just a reality TV star. He was a true craftsman, and through Arclight, Kaufman's legacy continues to inspire future generations of car enthusiasts who prioritize quality and craftsmanship over quick success. His story is one of following one's passion, no matter the obstacles, and creating a lasting impact that goes far beyond TV fame. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into Aaron Kaufman's journey, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you never miss a story like this. What do you think led Aaron to leave Fast and Loud at the peak of his success? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't go just yet. Check out our next video. P. Diddy on trial. Jury selection begins in high-profile sex trafficking case. Coming soon. You won't want to miss it.